So the thing about being a death doula, an end-of-life doula, is to help people understand that they have agency over how they live their last chapter of their life. Beginning with that diagnosis or prognosis that there's nothing more that we can do for you, to really crafting the map for how do you want to spend those last days, hours, minutes when you're actively dying. One of the exercises we did in the end of life doula training was to imagine, and I want to invite you into this for just a minute. Imagine that feeling as good as you do today. You just left a doctor's office and they told you that you had 3 months to live. 3 months and you would no longer be on the planet. What kind of priorities would you set? Who would you want to see? Where would you want to go? Who would you want to make amends with? Or would you just want to hunker down and be by yourself and get quiet for those last hours, or those last months, those last weeks while you still had a semblance of health? Think about how focused your priorities would become if you had 3 months. And you know, there's the old adage about live your life as if this was your last day. And gosh, you know, the Buddhists are really clear about this and have lots to teach us about that practice. Our priorities would be much more focused if we knew that we were going to leave the planet soon. A lot of what the work of the doula is focused on is those last days and hours and minutes of life, and making a plan with the person who's dying and the family members about what that looks like. And it's mundane things, you know, like who do you want to be there or who do you not want to be there? So the doula may become the gatekeeper who is, you know, answering the door saying, I'm sorry, but the family has decided that in these last days and hours, only the family is going to be present. They thank you for coming, sign the book, and please hold them in your prayers. So it's not a family member who has to step away from witnessing and being with the person who's dying. The doula can do that. You know, do you want music? Do you want country western music playing, or do you want silence? Do you want someone reading to you? If so, what? Do you want casual conversation going on in the room about the lives of the people who love you? Or do you just want people to come in and sit with you in silence, or to speak to you about their experience of you in their lives? Do you want to be touched or not? And if so, where? I know if I was with my dad and he was dying and somebody touched his feet, he'd levitate 3 feet off the bed. He hated having his feet touched. But you know, if you don't know that, and if you haven't had the conversation, a caring person might come in and want to do a foot massage to bring ease and comfort to the person who's dying. Are there aromas that you want? The smell of fresh bread to connect you to home life in the kitchen. And so there are all these decisions that we really do have agency over. But so often we go to the hospital and we lay in a hospital bed and we wait while nurses come in and do what they do just to make sure we're comfortable, without giving thought to, oh, this is the last chapter of my life. The other role that the doula plays in that is, once the plan is made and family members have agreed upon it, there may be that outlier, that family member who chose not to participate in making the plan, who all of a sudden flies in and decides that they know everything about how this should all go. It is the doula's role to be advocate for the person who's dying, so that the other family members don't have to go head to head with that family member who's just shown up and tried to take over. It is the doula who is standing between that person and the plan that the dying person made and the family members that agreed to that plan.